Hey folks, welcome to the live stream. We're going to get started here in about a minute. We'll give it another 30 seconds to a minute for people to join on and join us. It was a little bit of a last moment live stream, so we'll just give it another half a minute or so for people to join us. But smash the like. Hope you're doing well today. We're going to get started here momentarily. I see we have quite a few people joining the live stream. Welcome, welcome. We're going to get started here in about 15 seconds. We'll give it another little bit for people to jump on. All right. Let's get started. Today's Tuesday. Hope everybody's doing well. It's October 3rd. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rod with Power Group. What's up? Hey, Ricardo. Here. Hey, Fear No Evil. Welcome to the live stream. I see we have quite a few people joining as well. So let us know where you're tuning in from in the live chat, and we'll get going here with today's video and live stream. Going to be discussing the potential of uplisting and a mania that could ensue here over the next 6 to 12 months, in my opinion, realistically. I think the trend has started, and I'm going to point to that later on in this video. I'm going to try to keep this video a little shorter here today as well. But diving right into it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. I got my hoodie in the mail today. I had another order today. I'm not sure who it was. Didn't really look into details, but I saw another hoodie went out today, and I've had, I think, close to 25 orders now. So thank you so much for the support. I've got my team Tilray, my trusty team Tilray hat here as well. So yeah, it's great quality, and I really do appreciate the support. So we'll jump in. I want to share this video because I think it is a very important topic that we're going to see over the next 6 to 12 months. We're going to see the occurrence of MSOs, multi-state operators in the US, starting to uplist to the NYSE and the NASDAQ, these US major exchanges, right? And that's going to be a trend that's going to continue for some time. And we know that safer banking was passed in the Senate committee, and now it's going to the Senate floor for a vote, then potentially the House, and then off to the president for signage. But we also have rescheduling that could occur over the next, foreseeable future in the next few months. DEA still needs to sign off on it. That could pave the way for uplisting as well, depending on how it's rescheduled. So the writing is on the wall here at the moment, and we're starting to see even more signs from that, which we'll look at here in just a moment as well. But again, this isn't a guarantee. This isn't financial advice. Don't buy or sell anything based on anything I say or write. This is just my own thoughts and opinions. Do I think it's going to happen in the next month or two? Probably not. 6 to 12 months seems like a realistic window, but at the end of the day, don't take take everything that I say with a grain of salt. It's not a guarantee, and I'm certainly not saying that we're 100% going to see these companies uplist in the next 6 to 12 months. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying, in my own opinion, realistically, over the next 6 to 12 months makes sense, because we also have an election year coming up, and we know that the big banks and the financial institutions, the Wall Street banks, want to get positioned before the rest of retail. So they're going to do it in a phased approach, right? They're going to allow the big institutions to get in, right? The hedge funds and the Wall Street banks, they're going to get positioned, and then they're going to start to legalize it. Maybe they'll legalize medical, and then they'll legalize full-blown rec at the federal level, but that's probably going to take multiple years. Make sure to give Power Group a follow on X as well. I got my blue check mark today, so the account is verified. Just be very cautious when talking to anybody on there. I'll never ask you for money. I'll never ask you to send me any Bitcoin or any XRP or anything like that, right? So just make sure to look out for the blue check mark, and just be safe and follow at Group Pow is the handle for that. I'm going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward, and I'm posting a lot more on there. Really liking the platform now that Elon has made it a lot better. I hated it before, and now I love it. But the handle again for that is at Group Pow. So MJ Biz Daily reported a while ago, back on June 29th, that TerraSend would become the first MSO to list on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and that was starting July 4th. So this isn't new information. I covered this in a previous video, but I want to bring this up to kind of give you an idea that the trend is already starting, right? For the longest time, it was just OTC and the CSE, right, for US producers and US MSOs. And then Curaleaf, I just did a video on it the other day as well. Curaleaf sells stock at $6 Canadian. And if we go down here, the company is making the offering to satisfy a condition required for a potential listing for the subordinate voting shares on the Toronto Stock Exchange, TSX, right? So once this happened, it's just game theory playing out. Once one follows, the rest follow, right? And then once two people do it, once two companies do it, it's just game over, right? Then we're going to really start to see everybody and their dogs starting to do the same thing, right? All of their peers, all of the rest of the MSOs in the US are going to want to do the same, because they're not going to want to get left behind, and they're going to want to have access to, larger capital and things like that. And the Toronto Stock Exchange will do just that, right? And then eventually we'll start to see a trend emerge where they start to uplist to the NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange, and the NASDAQ, right? So again, would you rather be in now before, like, think of all the catalysts, right? We got uplisting to the TSX for a lot of these names. We got uplisting to the NYSE or the NASDAQ, right? Then we have rescheduling. Then we have legalization of medical. Then we have Florida on the ballot, right, for 2024 potentially. Then we have legalization at the federal level, right, in terms of recreational use. Then we have Germany coming online. We have Thailand. We have the rest of the globe, right? And then eventually, there's going to be a Super Bowl commercial, right? So all of these things are going to happen. It's just a matter of when, not if, right? So I would rather be positioned now, even if I have to wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, even if it's 10 years, who cares? The money that I put in, I'm prepared to let sit, and it's not money that I need. It's just money that I'm prepared to let sit and go to work, right? So again, as long as you're not, stretching yourself too thin, as long as you're not breaking the golden rule, going in too heavy, and then setting realistic expectations, having a goal, having a sell goal and a buy goal, right? Having a buy plan, just as important to know when to buy than it is when to sell. So again, we're starting to see this trend emerge, and I don't think it's going to slow down anytime soon. If Curaleaf is going, if TerraSend is going, then it's more than likely going to appeal to the GTIIs of the world, or Green Thumb or Trulieve, right? And then once they all start doing it, with the majors, then the tier 2s and the tier 3s and the medium cap and the small cap names will follow suit, right? And then it's just a matter of time before the NYSE and the NASDAQ comes into play, because like I always say, the markets are not fair. They are not orderly. They are very much unfair and unorderly. So because they're unorderly, then the Wall Street banks and Wall Street as a whole is going to do what they always do, and they're crooked SOBs, and they're going to want to get positioned first. So they're going to make uplisting happen before any major federal changes, in my opinion. But again, that's exactly what it is, my opinion. You can let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. But we're very, very close to the blue chip phase, in my opinion, where we're going to see mega mergers occur. And it's not going to be one or two. It's probably going to be, a handful. And we're going to see probably, acreage get absorbed by Canopy once federally permissible, and then you're going to see US MSOs acquire LPs, right? So there's a lot of names right now that are high buyout targets and candidates. It's just a matter of who's going to buy them, right? And like I said, we're already starting to see Curaleaf. It was rumored that Curaleaf was expressing expressing interest in Kronos, and then that didn't come to fruition. There was basically no truth to it at the end of the day, but who really knows? But the fact is we could see that happen, right? We know that a lot of these companies, like think of Curaleaf, just not to single them out, and not to say that any other company is not going to do it, but I'm just saying Curaleaf is a very good example, because Boris Jordan, the executive chairman and co-founder, said that if it wasn't for 280E, they would already be paying a dividend to customers or to shareholders, right? So, and investors. So to me, that tells me that, the opportunity is enormous. Like, just think about it. Like, if they had, what did they pay? $350 million to the U.S. government under 280E tax code. So if this gets rescheduled to Schedule 3, they're going to have more money than they know what to do with, right? It's going to hit their bottom line, and it won't be going to the U.S. government for 280E. So they'll have all these extra millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars hitting their bottom line, and then they can use that to pay a dividend. They can use that to acquire companies, right? So eventually, they're all going to have more cash than they know what to do with. So, and then eventually the Canadian LPs will be able to sell into the US, in my opinion, as well. And Tilray's already doing so through its craft beers and whatnot, and its Manitoba Harvest hemp business, and it's got a distribution business, right? So it's going to happen. It's going to be descheduled, in my opinion, and it's going to be treated just like alcohol and tobacco. So just wait until the blue chip phase begins. And right now, pretty much the only way for people in the US to buy these names is through an ETF like MSOs, right? Because they don't have access to OTC. Certain brokers don't allow it, right? Most don't. And then they're in the US, right? So people in the US don't have access to the CSE or the TSX. So one way to get it would be indirectly through an MSOs ETF, for example, right? Which invests in a basket of them. But MSOs is structured a little differently. It's got a huge weighting in some of the big names, but I mean, you can almost just buy those companies outright and you're almost doing the same and you don't have to pay them the management fee. But at the end of the day, this is going to be the lay of the land until we get uplisting, right? So MSOs is a great way because it's listed on a US major exchange, and it's a great way for people to get exposure. But $6, then $15 was the video that I made. I said there was a golden cross, which was very, very bullish. But again, we can be bullish on the monthly time frame and on the weekly time frame, but bearish on the daily time frame. And that's exactly what happened. We were bearish on the daily, but we were starting to turn bullish on the weekly and the monthly. And then I had a bunch of people ask me on my Tilray video, I thought you said Tilray was going to $13 and now you're saying $1.95. And I'm like, well, yeah, I said every day we check the charts and we see what's happening. And a couple days later, we had a daily bear flag targeting $1.95, but we're still bullish on the weekly and the monthly, right? We're forming a monthly higher low on a lot of names. Cureleaf is already in a monthly uptrend. It already has its low, high, higher low, and higher high. So it's already in a monthly uptrend. So we had a golden cross, I said in that video, and that was on September 27th. So if we go to September 27th, we closed at, that was the day that we had the Senate Banking Committee. So we closed that day at 8:08, and I said we're probably going to $6 here today. We closed at the low of the day, meaning we're probably going to go lower tomorrow. Very, very bearish close. Bears controlled the most of the day in selling pressure, and we closed right at the low of the day today. And the low of the day today was $7.51, so we came within 51 cents of $6, right? Not $6 exactly. I know in this it says 600, but I just meant like $6 in the $6 range, right? Would it maybe go to $6, right? We have the 0.618 there at 672, the golden pocket. Then we have the 786 at 586. So it's entirely possible. Then we had the head and shoulders as well. If you take the measured move from the top of the head to the neck and then move it out to the neckline, it's saying we could target about $6.34. So again, I said mid $6 seems realistic, and that's all you need to do. It's forget about the hype and the pump and dump and perma bull, perma bearish. Just look at the chart. The chart will tell you what you need to know. And don't hate me because I'm telling you the message. I'm just relaying the message. If you don't like the message, well then go and scream at the MSOs chart or the Tilray chart or the Cureleaf chart. I don't care. But don't scream at me. I'm just saying if it were up to me, I would say we'd be going to we'd be going to the moon. We'd go to $100, $200. Let's go to 1,000. Why not 5,000? If it was my choice. It's just funny how people, it's technical analysis 101. And if you don't know how to use technical analysis, you're probably one of those that doesn't think it works or, it's hocus pocus or whatever. But we were daily overbought, right? Look at the green here. If we just blow that up a little bit, you can see here we were daily overbought. Extended anything over 70 is considered overbought, and we were almost at 90. And then we had the head and shoulders. So again, if there was just the RSI being overbought, okay, I wouldn't be so concerned about a major sell-off. But then we start to look for confluence. What's confluence? It's multiple indicators, signals, and patterns that occur in life that make us think a certain outcome might happen, right? So in this instance, not only did we have the daily overbought conditions, we had an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross lining up. We had the bull cross already out of the way, and then a massive move off of the low. We ran about over 100%, so 108%. We're running hot on the RSI, okay? So we're over 100%. We're running hot on the RSI. We had a daily bull cross. What do you think is going to happen? We're probably going to see a bear cross and a correction, right? Then we confirmed a daily downtrend with a lower high and lower low. That's like the third thing we're watching, right? Then the fourth was a head and shoulders targeting 6. So that's 4 indicators and patterns that we're looking at now. And then I'm sure I could find another one, right? But we had this pattern here as well. This was a bearish reversal pattern where you start to get exhausted to the downside. It's a falling wedge. Generally, they break bullish most of the time. And you just take the width of that and you move it out, and it said we were targeting about a little over $8. Sometimes you can get extended a little past that. You can overshoot it. Sometimes you can undershoot it, right? But it's just an idea of where we're going. And if you're like most people, if you're following technical analysis, you're following the fundamental news, like I've been saying for months that we're probably going to see rescheduling news come out. We were probably going to see safer banking get a vote, right? And I said it had better chance of passing than anything. And I said Schedule 3 was the most likely. And then lo and behold, August 30th, they say Schedule 3 recommendation. And I'm like, and then people are like, how do you know? And I'm like, if you did any research, right? Even if you just tuned into this channel, I've been saying it ad nauseum for the last like 3 or 4 months, like many months before HHS even came out with the recommendation, right? So again, it's utilizing the tools that are put forth in front of us, right? So I'm going to wrap it up, but at the moment, MSOS, like I said, is probably going to target that mid $6 range. And we also have the EMAs. We got pretty extended. There's another indicator, right? We got pretty extended past the EMA, saying that we're more than likely going to come back and backtest them. And we were even weekly overbought. So that's like 7 or 8 signals and patterns right there, and indicators saying that we're probably due for a decent sized correction. What do I always say? When we go 100, 200%, you should expect at least a 20 to 30% pullback. And look off the top now, we are now down 25%, right in the frickin' middle. So, and we could still go a little bit more to give us that 30% and backtest the EMAs, right? So again, and then not only that, okay, so what did I give you, like 6 or 7 different signals that we were probably going lower? Okay, another one is what is the market conditions? The interest rates are going up, right? The economy is still strong. What's the S&P 500 doing? Because if the S&P 500 is weak, that's going to be headwinds as opposed to tailwinds if it's strong. So what is the S&P 500 doing? Oh, look, on September 27th, it was starting the daily bounce, but it was just a daily bear flag. Anything under the 0.32 fib there on this is SPY futures chart, because we're after hours here. But it was 43.8750. We didn't get above it. It was a very weak bounce. And then once we lost the low there at 4277, we confirmed the daily bear flag. And here today, we're seeing even more follow through. And now we're daily oversold. So we would be expecting a temporary bottom at some point on the S&P 500, likely around 410, 408 is what I've been looking at. I think even 400 might be possible, or a slight flush, freak people out, right? Get them scared, panic sell the bottom and the temporary bottom. Then we go up, form a lower high, and then people buy the top, and then they just keep getting shaken in and shaken out, right? So another bear flag on the broader market meant we're probably going to see selling pressure and headwinds for the MJ space, right? And then MSOS here on the weekly time frame, we had the 10-week moving average there at 679. We got pretty extended above it. That's usually what happens when we get extended to the upside or the downside. We gravitate back to those moving averages, and that's rate 679, right? So again, and then a bear cross of the stochastic MACD, close to seeing a bear cross as well. And then we had the 50 weekly there at 702. So again, and we're probably going to back test that. And then here's the kicker. The 50-day moving average, we had the golden cross, right? Which is the first time it happened in its history. We had the death cross, and then we went into a multi-year bear market. Now we're having a golden cross with the 50 below the 200-day. When that happens, it's a golden cross. Whenever the 50 is above the 200 and they cross, that's a death cross. Very, very bad. Very, very good, right? So what do you think is probably going to happen over the next, 6 to 12 months? Probably very, very good, right? Same thing that happened here. Very, very bad for many, many months. And we're probably going to see many months of very, very good, right? And then usually when we get above it, we come back and we back test it as support. We get extended to the upside, and then we ebb and flow back towards it, right? Gravitate back towards those. And look where those are. 651, 605, and 621. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw mid sixes, maybe even $6, and then we skyrocket up to, somewhere around $15. And again, we still hadn't confirmed a monthly uptrend, so that's another signal. Oh, well, this move's all coming off the low, and we're still in a monthly downtrend, and we haven't confirmed another monthly uptrend yet. So again, what haven't we done since we started this brutal bear market for the last couple of years? We haven't confirmed a monthly uptrend. So now we'll be watching for the low of last month to hold. We've got 27 days, so it's very possible. So if we lose 665, monthly consolidation underway. And then what we're going to look for is a higher low and a higher high. So that would be our higher low compared to this low. Here's our high. This would be the higher high, right? So as soon as this breaks, that gives us our higher high. As soon as this is lost, it's a lower low, and then no longer expecting an uptrend, right? It'd be a downtrend continuation. Lower highs and lower lows, right? What is downtrend? Lower highs and lower lows. So you can see it here. Lower highs, lower highs, lower high, lower low. Then higher lows and higher highs, right? You could be in a monthly uptrend and have a 50% pullback here and still be in a monthly uptrend and still be extremely fine and bullish, right? That's what people don't understand about trends and technical analysis. So at the moment, we're expecting a monthly higher low. If we lose 665, the monthly high low can form because we have to lose the low of the previous candle to start consolidation. So 665 is key support. And then look where would be an ideal range for a higher low, somewhere around that $6 or plus thereof, right? Even 650 it'd be a slight higher low, but I would say the most likely scenario is somewhere around the low $6 for a monthly higher low. We got 27 days left in the month. The SPY is still targeting a bear flag target, which could still see another 3.5% of downside from here, which you amplify that by 3 or 4%, times it by 3 or 4 for individual names, especially riskier names like MJ. So that means we could see another 12% of downside on some of these names. So if we saw 12% of downside on, say, MSOS, let's use that same logic from current levels, that would put us right around that $6 mark. So again, all this confluence, the likely scenario, right? Putting aside all of our biases, what we want to happen. Do I want it to go to $6? No, I'd rather go to 15 or 5,000, right? Let's go to 5 million. Who cares, right? 5 million per MSOS share. Great, right? But that's not realistic. So yeah, don't hate the messenger. Just, hate Wall Street banks, because that's who's doing this, right? It's not mom and pop. It's not retail investors that are causing these sell-offs, right? It's the big banks, like 99% of anything out there. All right, I got to start wrapping it up. What up, Rod? What up? Oh, wow, really? Florida, nice. Las Vegas, nice. Oh, man, I can't go to Las Vegas for at least a couple years. I went for MJ BizCon the last, 2021, and I almost didn't make it home alive. They call it Sin City for a reason, but yeah, you can see this new sweater I got. It's freaking dope. I got the Team XRP one. I got a Team TLRY on the way. Should be here tomorrow. I got the hat too. I got an XRP hat on the way. Ordered a bunch of stuff, really. Hi, Rob. What do you think about earnings for Tilray tomorrow? The chart says we're going to 195 on a daily bear flag, and it wasn't the greatest close today. What did we close at? I think it was like somewhat near the middle of the range of that candle. Yeah, we closed like right in the middle almost, but closer to the low of the day than the high of the day. A little bit of a doji indecision candle today. But yeah, we do have the bear flag targeting 195. And just like MSOS, and I mentioned about monthly consolidation and the monthly higher low just started to form. So once we lost 226, the low of last month, the monthly higher low is forming, right? So again, let's take a look at, and I have to go real quick here, so excuse me if I don't get to all the comments, but see Cura, low, high. When we started consolidation here, we lost the low of 416. That was monthly consolidation. We have a new low compared to this low, and then here's our high. So key support was 297. It's all about support and resist. 297, then the high of the bounce. How do we know that was the high of the bounce? Because we broke the highs of the previous candle. That's a bounce, right? And then consolidation, we're breaking the low. So once we stopped the bounce, and once we lost this low here on August candle, once we lost the low of July and August, monthly consolidation was underway. Then we needed a higher low compared to 297. We got it. We confirmed a weekly uptrend. That means our monthly higher low is set. And then once we broke the high here at 568, we confirmed the monthly uptrend. So now we look at Tilray and we say, okay, what does Tilray need to do to start monthly consolidation? Okay, what's the low of last month's candle? 226. Okay, what's the low of this month? 220. So we're starting monthly consolidation. So now we're looking for a higher low compared to 150, right? This low. So we have the low, high, higher lows forming now. Now we need to form a higher low compared to 150. We hold 150 here on this monthly consolidation, and then in the next month or two, we break above 340, monthly uptrend confirmed, right? So I would say we're probably due for a little bit. I'm not expecting. You got to remember, we could see some impairments and some write-downs from the Hexo acquisition. Hexo's revenue will be on this quarter, but it won't be. It's going to be nullified by and canceled out by the advisor fee not being on there. So it should be around, same 30-40 million, I would think. And then, we'll see what happens. They also bought some, they closed the deal with Anheuser-Busch. They paid $9 million. I did the video there yesterday. So again, they closed the deal with Anheuser-Busch and $9 million dispute with MediPharm Labs. So I'm leaning a little bit. Analysts are expecting a loss still. I would expect a loss. So yeah, maybe they beat in terms of revenue, but I'm leaning down. But I wouldn't expect much more down. Like I said, the daily bear flag targeting about 195, and then that'd put us around daily oversold. That should mark a bottom, and then that'll just be for buying, in my opinion, as we look for this monthly higher low and then follow a potential cure leaf where we have the higher low and higher high. And then once this thing gets back in a monthly uptrend, that's going to be the first time we confirmed a monthly uptrend since $67, right? So big deal. Ontario, nice. Got lots of family from Ontario. My parents and I visit Florida pretty much every year. I got a lot of friends from Florida as well. If they get listed on the NYSE or the NASDAQ, will they be correlated with SPY as well? Yeah. I mean, got to keep in mind that MJ stocks have been down a lot and really didn't participate in the everything bubble. So in my opinion, they could outperform the broader market, specifically tech stocks. But yeah, it should correlate a little bit more. Because once the masses, the big money can play in, right? Smart money, then generally when the rest of the market's bullish, MJ's bullish. But like I said, because of the deviation and it hasn't been correlated at all really with the broader market to that extent where, you know, the S&P 500 was up like 125% in 2 years. And then, you know, for an S&P 500 for an index, that's huge. And then, you know, some names like Nvidia, you know, they're right at all-time highs, new all-time highs, Apple, Amazon, whereas most MJ stocks were nowhere near all-time highs, right? So they could play catch-up, and that money's going to go somewhere, right? Eventually, it's just going to go into money market funds and cash, gold and precious metals, and some cryptos, in my opinion. But there'll still be people. I'm still listening to people all the time who don't even pay attention to MJ stocks, but they're just smart because they know market psychology. And like, oh, they were down 99%, safe for banking and rescheduling. Oh, maybe it's time to buy, right? Most retail's like, oh, I'm selling this 99% loss. Jeez, it's never going to recover. And it's like, but the smart people are like buying now, you know, and wait. Whereas most people like to buy high, sell low. It's funny how the human mind works. It's so weird, you know. And I was like that at the beginning too. It's because it's money, right? People just freak out because it's money. MSOs, yeah, I went over that. Correct. I'm in the U.S., got stuck buying Canadian companies. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, everything's down 70, 80, 90% plus from February 2021 and all-time highs. So you're probably stuck holding a few bags, even if you could buy the U.S. names. And like I said, people usually buy the top and sell the bottom. So yeah, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Most people couldn't buy. So they probably would have bought the top of Trulieve at like $60. I like the chart analysis. It's just another tool to use in helping make a good investment. Yeah, it's like Warren Buffett always says, and all these like rich billionaires say, I would never buy anything without looking at a chart first. And then people are like, oh, technical analysis doesn't matter. It's like, okay, give your head a shake. Tilray earnings might yield bear flag. Yeah, I'm thinking so. I'm leaning bearish, but I'll gladly be wrong. Lots to look at. This is why we keep watching Raw to keep the boat afloat. Yeah, it gets overwhelming sometimes, and that's the thing too, is just like keep it simple, right? That's why I created Pow Group too, is kind of filter out all the noise. You get so many trolls on Reddit and all these other, even X sometimes. It's just, you know, hard to filter out. Like, I don't care if someone disagrees with me, but like, it's just the trolls and the, you know, there's something on my screen here. It's the trolls and the disrespectful people and the people who aren't realistic at all. They're just maximalists of a certain company or coin or whatever. It's just like, float. Get out of here. Got no time for you. Definitely bullish Tilray long term. People want profits in days. Not going to happen. Nope. But once we confirm a monthly uptrend, it's probably going to happen very, very quickly, and lots of people will get left behind. And a lot of people will end up selling too quickly too, right? Hey Rod, OGI please. I wish I could, Jatinder. I'll have to do it on the next one I have to run. My apologies. Thanks for the update, Rod. Cheers, you bet. Cheers. Quebec, bonjour. I can't see. There's like a little thing in the back. It says Quebec, something, your content. Love your content. Is that what it says? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. There's like a little heart or something, like an emoji side of the comment section here, the live chat for like YouTube creator. Rod, thank you for your insight. Thank you. Thank you for joining. All right, going to there, everybody. Hope you have a fantastic evening, and we shall see you on the next video. But all eyes will be on Tilray earnings tomorrow. Conference call will be at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, and I'll be covering both. So I'll do a review of the earnings and a review of the conference call. I might even stream the conference call. We'll see. All right, hope you have a fantastic night. Thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rod with Powder. See you on the next video. There we go. Yeah. Quebec, like your content. Okay. I was like or love. Couldn't see it, but yeah, that makes sense. Like your content. All right. Thank you very much. Have a great night, everybody. Love each and every one of you. It's been a journey. Can't wait to continue it. But I'm here for it. I'll be making videos and as long as I'm on this earth. So I appreciate it. It goes both ways. You guys are great. You guys and gals are great. So always a blast coming on here and doing these live streams. But I have to run. I got some other. I got an AGM, actually, an annual general meeting of my one of my condos. So yeah, it's been a long day. I'll try not to fall asleep. I might have to go get a Red Bull or something to keep me up, or maybe I'll go get one of those XMGs with guarana. Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, have a great night. See you on the next one.